All right, you guys. So I know this is the time of year where a lot of content creators do their phone awards. I'm not up to that point yet because my channel is still relatively small. And some people do their phone of the year, videos and stuff like that. But I'm gonna keep this simple. I'm gonna tell you why the OnePlus 12 is my 2024 phone of the year. Now, I already know some of you saying, well, how could a 2023 be the 2024 phone of the year? Because it's my video. and and also this is the phone that is my phone of the year. Now, of course, like I said, I'm a small channel. I don't get sent phones by, manufacturers. I have to buy all of these phones with my own money. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, 'cause I'm gonna keep it a 100. A lot of phones today don't interest me like that. Honestly, they don't. They're very incremental upgrades. There's hardly any phones that really wow me. Now, the only phone that actually kind of wowed me this year was the Vivo X Fold 3. That phone wowed me. But that's it. And this phone wowed me. And I could literally put it as a 2024 phone because it came out in December of last year. So really like the last few weeks of the whole year. So it really is a 2024 device. So to me, this is really a 2024 device, honestly. Now, like I said before, a lot of the devices today, they just don't wow me. Now, I know, a lot of people like the new Pixel because it feels like an iPhone. They like the design. They like all that. The S24 Ultra, has the anti-reflective coating. And for some creators, that's the phone of the year. And it very well could be. I mean, I haven't had any of those devices. The Pixel 8 Pro, the Pixel 9 Pro XL, the S24 Ultra, the new Asus, or 9 Pro, a lot of phones I did not have this year. Now, maybe the Asus interests me a little bit, but not to the point where I want to spend the kind of money they want for it. No way. It's not happening. And eventually I'm going to check out the Pixel 9 Pro XL, but it'll be sometime next year when that price considerably drops, which they always do with Pixel phones. And maybe I may check out the S24 Ultra, maybe, I don't know. Really, that phone is really not that different from the S23 Ultra. It really isn't. The biggest thing I keep hearing people talk about is the anti-reflective, the cameras are better, the battery life's a little better. That's just the same old boring stuff that they do every year. What about the charging speeds? They're still pathetic. The wireless charging still at 15 watts. Like, seriously? 45 watts? Like, come on. So there's things that Samsung can definitely improve on when it comes to their ultra phones. It's just not enough for me to want to upgrade to that device. It's just not. But back to what we're really here for. I'm going to explain to you why the OnePlus 12 is my 2024 phone of the year. Number one, well, first thing, I'm not going to say number one, but first thing is the design. I absolutely love the design. It looks like, a luxury watch, to me. Some people have said that, but I just can't. I just love this. This is my favorite design device. I just love, the trim edges. I just love this design so much. Now, the Pixel 8 Pro is number two in my favorite when it comes to designs, but this is definitely number one. So the first thing is the design. Number two, it's the build quality. Now, I know I got a case on here, but the build quality on this phone is top notch. It feels very, very premium in the hand, and it's very comfortable in the hand because the corners are nice and rounded off. And if you don't have super dry hands like I do, you won't have any problems gripping this phone and using it without a case. Now, I can't do it because my hands are usually super dry and the back, the phone is just going to be slippery for me. And also, let me just say this. I don't take chances. I just see people always talking about they dropped their phone, they dropped their phone, they dropped their phone. and they got scuffs and dings and damage. And look, I'm using the case. There are even thin, really thin cases that you can use that will give you some form of protection. I just think it makes no sense to spend a bunch of money for a phone, don't have a case for it, you drop it and you damage it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but to each his own. I know people that just don't like cases. They just wanna I just wanna feel the phone. Well, you could feel the phone when you're at home and you're in a place where you don't have to worry about damaging your device. But that's up to you guys. I'm always gonna keep a case on my device. But I love the build quality of this device. Next, the IR blaster. I love that this phone has an IR blaster. That's that universal remote control, which I absolutely love. I love having this. Now, did I put it here? It is IR remote, and I got it set up for my Samsung. I just love having this. I really do. I love that, and it's just not for for TVs. You can see here cable box, set top box, DVD player, projector, air conditioner, AV receiver, fans, lights, cameras, air purifier, water heater, robot vacuum, electric heater, and something says here something motorized. I don't know, what that is, but could be something in Chinese. But this is not just about TVs. That's what makes the IR Blaster so unique, and that's why Flossie Carter and I mention it so much, because it's not just about TVs. So if you have a OnePlus 12, you have something that a lot of phones don't have, and then, unless you have a Xiaomi, a Oppo, those phones that are not readily available here in this country. And it's a shame, because you used to be able to get OnePluses through T-Mobile, but I don't know what happened with the partnership between OnePlus and T-Mobile. So now you have to buy, if you want a OnePlus, you have to buy it outright, which is unfortunate, because most people get their phones through a carrier. Everybody just can't afford to get a phone, or buy a phone outright. So it's just unfortunate, that you can no longer get a OnePlus through a carrier in this country. Just unfortunate, but I love the IR Blaster. Next, the alert slider. That is one of my favorite things too, because you can go from silent to vibrate to actually hearing, the sound. And I like that because it's convenient. Say you're somewhere and you're constantly getting notifications, you could easily just put it in vibrate or push it in silent, and you could do that in your pocket. So I love that it has that. Most devices don't have that. But some other Chinese phones do have that you can't get, unfortunately, like I said, in this country. And it's just unfortunate. But I like it. My Vivo has it. Doesn't have the 3 function. It has vibrate, and then you can hear it. You can hear sound. But OnePlus is the original maker of the alert slider, so it has those 3 options: silent, vibrate, and then sound. So I like having that on here in case I need it. Next, the in-display fingerprint sensor is really good. I mean, it's really fast. It really doesn't give me any issues at all. You see how fast it is. It has haptic feedback. It has an animation, and you can change the animations with the fingerprint sensor. And I love that. You see how fast it is? You see how fast that screen comes on? And I don't have any issues. Now, this is not even an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, but you can see here that I have no issues with it. It works great. I mean, it really works great. Better than my Samsung. Okay. Next, the face unlock. The face unlock is awesome on the OnePlus. Now I'm behind the camera. Let me see if I can get it where you see how fast this thing is coming on. And you know what makes this even better is that this thing will work in complete darkness. I mean, complete darkness. Unlike my Pixel 8 Pro, where if you get in low light, it'll literally tell you not enough light. And forget about pitch black darkness. Like, it ain't coming on. It's going to say the same thing, not enough light. But this will open up in pitch black darkness. The fingerprint sensor is excellent. So the biometrics on this is another reason why I love this device, why it's my favorite phone of 2024. Next, the always on display. Now, it's not my favorite always on display, but I do like it because it's somewhat bright. You got the little animation with the little bear up there. I think when you turn it on, it'll make some kind of move. Let me see. Let me turn it off. Wait. Yeah, it makes some kind of move a little bit. And then when it gets late at night, the bear is laying down with the other bears. I think that's kind of cool. I just wish that, the notifications were in their own color. That would be cool. And I wish you can actually get a much larger clock, option would be nice. But I do like the always on display on the OnePlus 12. Next is the display. Of course, that's my favorite part of most phones, pretty much. I just love the display on this device. 6.8-inch LTPO Quad HD Plus AMOLED display, Dolby Vision, 1600 nits sustained brightness, 120 hertz refresh rate. Is absolutely beautiful, stunning, very bright, very vivid, very crisp. I love this display. Love it. I have no issues with this display. Now, what's a little weird? I got to share this really quick. Is that my 8 Pro has 1600 nits sustained brightness too, but it seemed like that device is a slightly brighter than this one. And it really is. I mean, seriously, it really is. It gets brighter, and both are 1600 nits sustained. So I don't know how that's possible, but this phone gets readily bright. And also keep in mind, you can get up to 4500 nits peak brightness if you're using auto brightness, which I never use. So I'm never going to see that. And of course, you got to know it's not going to stay at 4500 nits that long, even if it does pop on. It's just not. That's going to use up a lot of battery really quick if it stays on that bright, and it might heat up the phone. So it's really not necessary. But I know a lot of people are calling for more phones to have that anti-reflective coating. And I guess for people that work outside, that's something you will probably need, I guess, if you work outside, or maybe you use your phone outside a lot. I hardly ever use my phone outside, honestly. I don't. I mean, when I'm outside and I'm walking around, I'm looking at everything around me. I'm watching at all times because you got to have your head on your head on a swivel these days. It's just too much stuff going on. And I see people walking around with their head down in their phone all the time, not even watching where they're going. They running into other people. I'm just waiting for somebody at my job to literally fall down a staircase because they just can't put their phone down. They get on. I work, at a transportation company. They get on the train and they can't even put their phones down to pay their fares. They just can't put their phones down just to take a few seconds to pay their fare. Some people are just completely consumed with their phones. I'm not one of those people. Okay, I'm in my car with my phone. I'm in the break room at my job, or I'm at home. I'm not outside on my phone walking around. I don't do that. But the brightness on this phone is really, really great. I love it. Next, the dual stereo speakers. Now, this phone has some of the best sounding speakers on any smartphone that I have. Now, I do have other phones that have better speakers, louder speakers, but these speakers are balanced very, very well, and they get nice and loud, and I love them. Next, the battery life. Now, this is one of my favorites because it comes with a 5,400 milliamp hour battery. I'm getting 2 full days with moderate to heavy usage, always on display, 100% brightness, Quad HD resolution, and 120 hertz. Okay? So I don't baby this phone. Now, I'm not the type of person that can literally be on my phone all day. Like, I got to work. I have a job where I drive a train. So I can't be on my phone all day. Now, if you're the type of person that's on your phone all day long, now maybe you may not get 2 days. But for me, I say maybe the max, I say on a moderate to heavy day for me, I say about 3.5 to 4 hours on my phone because, like I said, I'll use it in the car. Then when I come home, if I'm downstairs in the kitchen cooking, I'll put on Star Trek and I'll be, watching that while I'm cooking or washing dishes. Or if I'm in the bathroom, shaving or washing up, I'll put on my Star Trek and listen to that. And then if I'm in my room and I'm watching TV, in between what I'm watching, like when it comes to a commercial, then I'll start watching a YouTube video, and then, when I have time at work, I'll usually be, Amazon, or I'll be on eBay, or, I'll be on Audible, or listening to Spotify, stuff like that. So that's really the way I use my phone. And also, I got my Bible app on here as well. So that's pretty much the way I use my phone. I hardly take any photos. I don't take it, shoot any videos at all, unless I'm going out, if I'm, out with the family, something like that. But I've hardly ever used the cameras. I just don't. And I'm not a gamer. So keep in mind, when it comes to battery life is always going to vary depending on who you are and how you use your phone. Just because I'm getting 2 days don't mean you're going to get 2 days. I had somebody, and it wasn't for this phone, but another phone that I have, and they were telling me, I don't know how you get in 2 days when I could only get a day. That don't What you get don't have nothing to do with me. I mean, the way you use your phone is different than the way I use my phone. Or maybe you got a bad unit. All I know, I'm getting 2 full days. I'm charging this device 3 days a week. 3 times a week, I'm charging this phone. So I'm getting great battery life. I have very few phones that can get me 2 days. Just a few. And this is one of them. So the battery life is one of the things I love about this device. It gets great battery life. Next, the battery charging speeds. 100-watt wired charging. Y'all heard that right? 100 watts wired charging. I can charge this device from 0 to 100% in 28 minutes. That's the kind of battery charging speed Samsung, or at least they should get close to that on their devices, but they don't. And the Pixel, that goes for the Pixel as well. Now, I don't care about iPhone because I don't use iPhones. But their battery charging speeds could be better too. But anyway, also 50-watt wireless charging. So I can charge this from 0 to 100% in 42 minutes. And also 10-watt reverse wireless charging. So the battery speeds, charging speeds all the way around are great on the OnePlus 12, and I love it. Next, performance. Now, this is using the Snapdragon Generation 3 chip. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of the fastest and smoothest experiences that you're going to get on any smartphone. Just smooth, fluid, silky, very responsive. I mean, I love this. I just love the performance on this device so much. Everything is just so smooth, so fluid. I mean, man, I just love it. I absolutely love it. So performance on here is an A+ for me, and I loved it. This is one of the things I'm in love with. Just as much as I'm in love with that display, I'm in love with the performance of this device. Next, the haptics. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, the haptics on this device are excellent. People don't hardly ever talk about the haptics on the OnePlus 12, but I'm trying to tell you right now, the haptics on this are better than my S23 Ultra. They're better than my Pixel 8 Pro. They're better than most phones that I have. The haptics are just that good. They're so, it's just hard to explain it, but they're excellent. And I got them all up at full throttle. And every time you tap a key, it just feels so nice. I mean, really. And I hardly ever talk about haptics, but that's something I remembered I had to mention that. Next, the software. Now, this is using Oxygen OS 15. I just upgraded this about a day ago. And now I'm using Android 15. So I don't have an issue with Oxygen OS at all. I love it. Everything is nice and divided. Looks, somewhat, well, it looks a little different than Samsung, but everything is organized really well on this device. And I do love all the features that it brings. Of course, One UI is still my favorite, but this would probably have to be my second favorite Android skin. So I'm loving One UI, and that Snapdragon Generation 3 chip is all that in a bag of chips. And of course, last but not least, it is these cameras. These cameras are so good. Just check out my full review on this device and just go right to the camera section. The pictures and the video of this device is so good. I mean, seriously, flagship quality photos and videos. You will not be disappointed. Now, let me just say that for the average person, you're not going to be disappointed. You're really not. But let me say this: everybody's different. What looks good to me may not look good to you. I'm just saying, to me, these cameras are excellent. They're just as good as my S23 Ultra, and they're actually, in my opinion, better than my Pixel 8 Pro. And I know some people may say, oh, can't be better than the Pixel. Look, all I know is the photos on my Pixel are not consistent. All the photos on this device are consistent. I've never had to go and enhance anything or unblur or fix anything up. I had to do that with quite a few photos with my Pixel 8 Pro. So there's absolutely no issues with the cameras on this device nor the video. Everything is top notch. So those are all the reasons why my OnePlus 12 is the 2024 phone of the year for me. Now, it may not be your phone of the year, and that's okay. It could be the Pixel. It could be the iPhone 16 Pro Max. It could be the S24 Ultra. It could be some other phone. But for me, this phone has it all. It is the complete package. You will not be disappointed with this device. At least I haven't. This is the best OnePlus phone that they've ever made to date. Now, the OnePlus 13 is out. That's really not that much different from this, except for a few bumps up, with the specs a little bit. But it's pretty much the same device. And they took away this silver thing right here that comes around here. They took that away. So all you got is just that circle. And I actually like that. I like that nice accent to the back of the camera. So, and it has a 6,000 milliamp hour battery, which is not a big deal because, like I said, this is 5,400 and I'm already getting 2 days. So I'm cool. That I don't need to get the phone just because it has a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. So I don't care about that. Now, if you want to really shock me and impress me and a lot of other people, won't you bring back the headphone jack and put some expandable storage in there? That would be impressive. That would be impressive. That's what a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people would love to see that back in a lot of these phones. Is expandable storage and a headphone jack. And how about throwing a quad DAC in there as well? That would be great. But those are all the reasons why the OnePlus 12 is my 2024 phone of the year. All right. Thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there is staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.